Hi there, so welcome back to a new series. In this one, we look at stocks which do have potential to bounce back post-pandemic. In this one, we are looking at Uber Technologies because Uber is actually up in the past 6 months, which is very interesting, but even so, we still do have potential to see even more growth in the next year or so, especially with the potential of us unlocking and hopefully going back to normal with the vaccine on rollout in many different countries. Well, of course, none of this is guaranteed to happen, but this is just my personal opinions on Uber stock. And in this series, I'm giving a look at all of the post-pandemic stocks which have potential to rocket in price. If you may enjoy, make sure to leave a like on this video and of course subscribe to the channel. Now that I've said that though, let's jump in. Right then, so Uber in the past 6 months, well, we are seeing quite a bit of growth indeed. We are up about 53%, which is quite significant to say that Uber did take quite a lot of a hit this year for obvious reasons, with people not using the service as much. In the past year, we can see that Uber saw a bit of a tank in price up until about mid-January, and from there we are seeing a bit of a recovery, and of course this is in 2021. So things relatively flat in the past 2 or 3 months. We can see up only 1.19% because a lot of the market has been down in the last week or so that also makes sense. But of course this could be a perfect opportunity to add more to your favourite stocks as they are potentially now on sale. I think Uber is really one that does have some potential. So yes, it is up right now, but with it being down in the past few weeks, we are looking at a much better price to be getting into this one, and we could see some big growth going forwards. Now what I really want to focus on is how this one has been moving since 2020, and we can see that even in that period the stock is up by about 64%. And in my opinion, this indicates some real strength for Uber. I think a lot of people are optimistic with this one obviously going up from late October. So personally, I do believe that the vaccine is hyping up this one quite a bit as people can see growth coming for Uber. And here's the thing, in my opinion, obviously Uber anyway is a very large company. Market cap is around $96 billion. So we can see is more than established in this market sector. And it's obviously a very good company as well to invest in. And I do believe that this year, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have seen some pretty decent growth anyway. But I think now people are more optimistic. I think ever since it has gone up more recently, it does indicate some more strength for the company to see growth going forwards in the next few years. Now of course Uber is more of a slow growth, more stable stock anyway, and I don't think that's a bad thing because it still is a decent way to diversify your portfolio. But the fact that it is up in the past year indicates a lot of strength in my opinion, as of course people are still buying this stock, anticipating that the company is going to do well in future years. And I absolutely do agree that this is the case. I think the last year or so has been abysmal for Uber for obvious reasons, and I think it makes sense that it is going to go stronger into the next few years. And for that reason, if I was going to be buying Uber, it's definitely more of a long-term hold, and of course it may not give the biggest returns, but of course there is still a lot of potential for this company to continue to expand, and I personally do believe it will. Now what I want to take a quick look at down here is obviously the revenue for the company. Now in December 2020 we can see that revenue was down. Same can be said for cash in hand and cost of revenue, and honestly I think that's not the worst thing in the world. So of course going down into September we can see similar things with revenue down around 17.94% again according to Google, and honestly I know these figures are quite shocking for obvious reasons, but I am not too concerned actually, because with Uber being used a bit less, it does indicate some pretty good things in my opinion. Now something also worth noting is the fact that the EPS was beaten on the quarter 4, quarter 3 and quarter 2. So of course these are strong symbols as well, because it does show that there is still some potential, but even so the expected results were negative anyway, so the company did still lose quite a bit of money, and that is also shown in these results here looking at the quarterly financials. So yeah, obviously Uber is down right now, but looking at what they do with their taxi service, if you can call it that, or something similar, we can see that obviously there is a lot of potential in this industry anyway, and Uber was very strong in the past few years, and even with those negative figures in revenue, people are still buying this stock, and I do believe this indicates some strength. So would I be buying Uber right now? Honestly, I think with the market dip that we have been seeing in the past week or so, it indicates an even better chance to get into this stock, as now we are looking at a better price on a better position for Uber. So yes, it could be a decent position in my opinion, and of course I am not a financial advisor advisor. Now, how much Uber stock would I buy? Well, obviously this is more of a stable, long-term growth stock, so I would put quite a decent amount into this one, but of course, if I was to do that, I would expect slow and decent returns. That's not a bad thing, and Uber absolutely does have potential to explode in price anyway, but personally, I would go into this one for the hope of a more long-term, slow-growing stock, but it could absolutely explode post-pandemic either way. But either way, I definitely do believe it will provide some positive results going forwards into the next 2 to 3 years. I think this is another stock which could bounce back post-pandemic. But yeah, if you enjoyed this quick episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because now we are starting up a new series on post-pandemic stocks, and it would be appreciated if you could keep up with this series as well. Thank you for watching though. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.